moving on to the next question. The young stage of the cycle of river erosion has which of the following features? Has a well-integrated streams contributing to the formation of wider floodplains. Waterfalls and rapids are prominent features. Landscape attain a near sea level elevation. Which of the statements given above are not correct? 1 and 3 only, 1 and 2, 3 only, and 2 and 3 only. The question is regarding young stage of cycle of river erosion. We have a concept called as cycle of erosion. Cycle of erosion, that's how a new landform is formed, how it is completely eroded to form a plain back again. For example, consider a plain region. Due to some tectonic activity, we have the formation of a mountain. From this mountain, we will be having the flow of rivers. So the river will be flowing through the mountain, getting into the plain, then ending to the sea. In its flow, the river will be having some velocity. When it is flowing through the mountain, it will be having greater velocity because it is flowing through the slope. Greater velocity means greater kinetic energy. So the river will be able to carry a lot of things in its path. So it will be basically eroding the mountain to carry rocks, soil, etc. And those things which are being eroded by the river, as it reaches the plain region, its velocity decreases because it ends the slope journey, now it is the plain region. So they will deposit some of the harder or the larger rock materials over there. And again, it will continue carrying the smaller materials. Towards the end, its velocity further decreases. So it will be depositing lot of particles at the end also. So the river is basically eroding the mountain, or it is basically destroying the mountain. And eventually the mountain, when the mountain gets completely eroded, the mountain region get back to a plain. That is the cycle of erosion. So in the cycle of erosion, or in the life of a river, we can divide into 3 stages. The young stage, the youth stage, or the mature stage, and the old stage. The youth stage or young stage, it is the phase in which the river is flowing through the mountain. It will be having greater energy. It will be having greater velocity. It will be having greater erosional capability. It will be eroding at a greater rate. That is vertical erosion. That means it will be digging to the depth. It will be eroding to the depth. Then when it enters the plain, it reaches its mature stage. And towards the sea, it is reaching the end stage. So here the question is regarding the young stage of the river. Landscape attain a near sea level elevation. See the statement 3. Near sea level elevation. Young stage means the river is basically in its mountainous journey. In its mountainous journey means it is at greater altitude, not at near sea level elevation, which makes the third statement to be wrong straight away. If it is near sea elevation, it is basically the old stage of river. It's not the young stage, it is the old stage of river. So if the third statement is wrong, you can eliminate C, D and A. Sorry, the third statement is wrong, so that you can eliminate B because the question is regarding not correct. You can eliminate B straight away. Waterfalls and rapids are prominent features. We know that waterfalls and rapids, or waterfall is basically an erosional feature. So along the young stage, the river will be flowing at greater velocity. So it will be flowing like this. So the rapids will be very common, which make the second statement to be right. Has a well-integrated stream contributing to the formation of floodplains or wider floodplains? No, floodplain is basically a depositional feature of river. In the young stage, erosion will be prominent. The deposition will be very negligible. So if we don't have a wider floodplain, we will be having a narrow or shallow floodplain. That makes the first statement also wrong. Not wider floodplain, narrow or shallow floodplain. So the second statement is only the right statement. Here the question is regarding not correct statement. So the answer is A. The answer is going to be A, 1 and 3 only. So this question, the answer is A. So this small concepts you need to have a good understanding, because you should be knowing regarding like what is young stage, what will be happening in young stage, what will be happening in the mature stage, what will be happening in the old stage, etc. Yes. Moving on to the next question. It's regarding Indian Ocean dipole and El Nino, La Nina, etc. So, the Indian Ocean dipole, also known as the Indian Nino, is also affecting the Indian monsoon. In this context, consider the following statement. It is regarding El Nino and IOD. IOD is an irregular oscillation of sea surface temperature in which the western Indian Ocean becomes alternatively warmer, that is the positive phase, and colder than the eastern part of ocean. Colder means negative phase. Positive IOD events are often associated with La Nina and negative events with El Nino. Positive IOD is associated with easterly wind anomalies across the Indian Ocean and less cloudiness to the Australia's northwest. So basically, Indian Ocean dipole or IOD, the Indian Ocean dipole or IOD is basically representing the differential heating of the western Indian Ocean and the eastern Indian Ocean. When the western Indian Ocean is warm, we call it as positive IOD. Western Indian Ocean warm means the eastern Indian Ocean is cold, that is the positive IOD. When western Indian Ocean is cold and eastern Indian Ocean is warm, that is the negative IOD. So that is what exactly it was given in the first statement of the question. Second statement says that positive IOD events are often associated with La Nina and negative events with El Nino. La Nina occurs when the Australian region is warmed up. Australian region is warmed up means water over here should be warmed up. Water over there warmed up, then water over here should be cold. That is basically the negative IOD. So, positive IOD is often resulted or often associated with El Nino, not La Nina. Third statement, positive IOD is associated with easterly wind anomalies across the Indian Ocean and less cloudiness to Australian northwest. Positive IOD means we have the cold water over here, warm water over the Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea region, cold water along the Bay of Bengal region. So in the positive IOD, here we have cold water, which means the evaporation will be less. Cloud formation in Australian coast will be also less. So if we move back to the question, we can see the IOD is an irregular oscillation of sea surface temperature in which the western Indian Ocean becomes alternatively warmer, that is the Arabian Sea part becomes alternatively warmer, that is the positive phase, and the colder, that is the negative phase, than the eastern part of Indian Ocean. So the first statement is right. Positive IOD events are often associated with La Nina and negative events with El Nino. Wrong, that is incorrectly given. Positive IOD is marked with El Nino and negative IOD with La Nina. Because you just check the heating of the Bay of Bengal region. Negative IOD, Bay of Bengal is heated. La Nina, Australian coast is heated. So that is nearby. So they are associated. Positive IOD is associated with easterly wind anomalies along the Indian Ocean and less cloudiness to Australian northwest. Because positive IOD means colder water on the eastern Indian Ocean. That means in Australian coast we will be having very less cloud formation. So here the answer is 1 and 3 only. Second statement wrong. The answer is 1 and 3 only. D is the answer. Moving on. We will see the next question. Which of the following can be the reasons for the formation of deserts? Located at the windward side of the mountain, located at the horse latitudes, located near warm currents, located at the interior of the continents. So, which of the following can be the reasons for the formation of deserts? That is a question. So, desert means we know that along that region the evaporation is much greater or the precipitation is very, very low. So, just check that which of the following condition or which of the following can be reasons for low rainfall of a region. Let us see the first one. Located at the windward side of the mountain. This statement is related to the orographic rainfall. So, when we have a mountain, when you have the rain-bearing wind coming from one side, the direction from which the rain-bearing wind is coming, that is the windward side of the mountain. while the opposite is the leeward side of the mountain. Along the windward side, we will be having rainfall. Along the leeward side, we will be having dry or arid condition. So, if a region is located along the windward side of the mountain, that region will be getting enough rainfall. So, the chances of formation of desert is very low over if it is located along the windward side of the mountain, which makes the first statement to be wrong. If the first statement is wrong, you can eliminate option A and option D. Secondly, located at the Horse latitude. Horse latitude basically means the subtropical high pressure belt. Subtropical high pressure belt where the air is subsiding. Air is subsiding means we have less chances of rainfall. So, second statement is right. It can be a reason for formation of a desert. Okay, anyway, if you are not knowing the Horse latitude or why the relation between desert and Horse latitude, just think about the deserts that you know. Saharan desert, the Thar desert, everything is along that high pressure belt. So, second statement is right. Third, located near warm currents. Warm currents basically results in heavy precipitation because warm currents increases temperature of that particular region, temperature of that particular ocean sea, which increases evaporation, which increases cloud formation, and we have heavy rainfall. Cold currents, on the other hand, reduces the chance of rainfall and thus makes that region arid. So, cold currents is a reason for formation of desert, not warm current. If you look at the major deserts of the world, it is located nearby the cold current. For example, the Mojave Desert of North America nearby the Californian cold current. The Atacama Desert in South America nearby the Peruvian cold current. Or the Kalahari and the Namibian Desert in Africa nearby the Benguela cold current. So, located near warm current is not the reason, it is a cold current. So, 3 is also wrong. Located at the interior of the continents. Yes. We have some mid-latitude deserts like the Gobi deserts, etc. In the heart, if it is located at the heart of the continent, it is very much away from the influence of sea. And we will be having extreme cooling, extreme heating, etc. So, the fourth statement is also right. So, answer here is B, 2 and 4, 1 and 3 is wrong.